Today I'm gonna unbox this and give you a first look. So first things first, it's a pretty heavy case. It's made specifically for the DDJ1000 and the DDJ1000 SRT. It comes with wheels, lift handles, and I believe it has a shelf for your laptop. And I think it's a one tier rack case. So let's take a look. There's even a fragile sticker right here on the box itself. Even though it's a case, you know, made of aluminum, it's not really fragile, I would say. But that's very, very cool to see. This is too heavy. I don't have space. I'm gonna drop this on the floor. The first thing I noticed here is that we have one big giant handle on the top, it seems. I really like that. You don't have to go around and look for it. It's nice, sturdy, and my whole hand actually fits in the slot. Some of the cases I've had in the past ended up actually barely fitting your hand. Oh man, it's already so heavy. Just from an empty case right out of the box. I believe the controller is around 20 pounds too, so yeah, that's a lot of gear you're carrying on top of what you're gonna put in here. It feels very sturdy already. I like how hefty it is, but man, if it's that heavy, you better damn well wish that it had wheels, and luckily there are wheels on this. Very, very nice set of wheels. They are made of rubber. It has these 4 rubber feet. This is actually very useful. So when you're setting up and tearing down, it's really easy to forget which side your case is if you're just so like busy taking everything down and putting it all away, or setting up even. It's very easy to forget, like, oh gosh, you know, which one's the top, which one's the bottom. And having these rubber feet on here actually help you tell and remind you, like, oh, by the way, your case is upside down. So little things like this I really appreciate. You've got the corners right here that are very, very sturdy. I can already tell. They're kind of like a ball, aluminum ball shape. The wheels are marked with a lot of rivets. From just first look, as a structural engineer, I think the craftsmanship on this is really, really exceptional. I've worked with a lot of rivets in my projects, and I've seen them all around factory equipment, as well as mechanical equipment, industrial equipment, and sometimes these things pop. For this kind of application, these are decent sizes. I mean, you don't need them too big, just as long as you have enough penetration and embedment into the material. That's an A for me in quality, at least for the bottom. I'm gonna flip it upside down now, and we'll see how the other side looks. Another thing that I really like is this really big handle. This one is pretty hefty. It locks in with this recess position right here, just like that. Very, very good handle. And since the case is very heavy, you want something like this, and it's actually got a rubberized texture to it. It's a little too smooth. I like it a little bit more like rubbery. And again, we're back to the rivets here. A lot of rivets really holding this down, and you would expect that structurally for something like this area, which has a lot of the load carrying from the bottom of the controller case with everything in it. This is your main point of contact, so you best bet this has a lot of rigidity to it, and it needs a lot of strength. And so far I can tell, you can see the rivet insertion points, and as well as the head caps. Pretty well done so far, what I can tell. I don't see any glue, so I guess they didn't really rely on glue. Sometimes I see it, as well as like liner areas have glue, but this is all just riveted. You have screws some areas, like for instance they have screws here for the logos. There were screws for the bottom pieces right here. You have multiple clamping positions. Well, I can tell 1 and 2 in the front, 1 on the side, and then 1 on the other side. That's very, very nice. Some cases only have it on the right and the left, you know, or front and back. Whatever case is, it's only like about 2. From here, I could already tell that this is a nice clamping force. So what that tells me is that I'm gonna get a really good airtight, watertight case and a really good seal since I have multiple clamping points. I'm gonna check on the back real quick, see how many I get there. Okay, so you only get 2 for sides, for the sides total, and 2 for the front. So in total that's 4. Since you already have to worry about the front and the sides, I mean, like additional 1 or 2 in the back wouldn't probably hurt. Oh, so I was actually wrong. The handle is on the top side. The front side is right here, facing you guys. And you can tell because it's a removable front, right? And this seems to be in most cases. You know, you gotta be able to access your rack. And here we only have 1 tier. But yeah, it allows you access to, you know, anything underneath your controller. And also gives you access to your headphone jacks and any knobs that you may have. Usually you'd get a lot of these if it's made to fit many different kinds of controllers. So it's a lot of hardware. You get Phillips drive truss head screws. So these look like machine screws, and then you have actual like maybe tech screws. Maybe they're self-driving or self-drilling. Looks like you've got a T slot right here, or T track, and it's capped at one end, so you can't actually have your laptop stand go all the way through and, you know, take your controller or take your laptop with it. Okay, so this is what it pretty much says. This ProX case includes 1 tier of 19-inch rack mount rails. So it's a 19-inch wide, 1 tier, and you can install it as you wish. So like I said, I believe that's what the tech screws were for, or the self-drilling screws were for. So you can find a spot, and I would guess the core of this is probably wood, you know, some kind of fiber board or plywood, and then the edges are lined and banded with this aluminum. I'm not sure what grade of aluminum, but I suspect it's probably T5 or T6. And I mean, everything here, like from the tabs to where the top of the case inserts, are made of metal, made of aluminum. Rivets, maybe the first point of contact that might corrode, because I can't tell, I don't know what material this is. But those could be replaced if you really need to. These wheels are not pneumatic, or they're not pressurized. You won't have a flat. They kind of just roll, kind of just like dollies. One of the reasons why I got this is because it has wheels, and when I'm carrying, you know, even just 1 tier of equipment, it gets very heavy. I've got mixers, I've got wireless controllers and wireless receivers and transmitters, and on top of that I bring my GoPro stands, my camera mounts, and then some wires, and even the microphones. It's already pretty heavy, up to 10 to 15 pounds. Then you add the 20-pound controller. The wheels will really help me, and that's one of the reasons and the biggest pro that I found. And on top of that, it's just very snug fit, and I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So the controller is actually pretty snug in here. It doesn't seem like I'll need any of the other foam pads. What I will say though is that there is a little bit of gap, you know, there is a little bit of play. There are foam pads right there that give you resistance whenever it touches the controller. So that's actually pretty nice. It gives it, you know, frictional resistance so it doesn't slide away from you when it's in travel. That's pretty useful, and also it protects the controller from shifting up and down. Very useful. It is an Asus FX505DU 15-inch laptop. It's got grommet holes right here, and then one through the back. So there's the grommet hole right here. What you have to do is punch it out, or you just unscrew this logo right here, and I guess that gives you access. I have about I would say about a 6-inch surface on each side of the laptop. Another thing that I really like about this case is it's got handles from the left and on the right side, not just from the top. I can't tell you guys how many times I'm at a gig or I'm tearing down at home, practice packing, which I actually recommend. Practice doing a loadout just to be more efficient. And there's many times where I'm like, oh, I wish there was a handle on this side. You'll be carrying 50 pounds of weight, and at one point you're gonna forget that there's only one handle here, and you're gonna look for one on the side, and then you realize, oh my god, there isn't one. And there's gonna be times when you wish there was a wheels so you don't have to hurt your back and end up being in the hospital or the doctors instead of actually DJing, right? So this is why I believe this is the best case you can possibly get for this controller, the DDJ1000, just because of these two things right here, the wheels and the handles on the side. If you can find those in any case, then maybe that's a good contender. But right now I went with ProX's, and you can tell that they really care about their products, and I've had their products before for my other gear, other musical equipment. So I was actually right, it is made of plywood. Those wood chips or wood shavings were coming from underneath this liner right here. Looks like a carpet liner, and it kind of sticks out, as you can tell, but it's not too bad, honestly. You won't even see it because you'll be facing from the other direction. And one thing I forgot to point out is that you have all of this liner of foam that's glued onto the case. Again, I believe it's high density foam, maybe even neoprene. It might be neoprene. Very good material. It's really great compressible material, retains its shape. Really good handles, and then here's those clips that I was talking about. Look at those tabs. Very good at keeping you in line. And then you can do locks right here, padlocks. But yeah, these clips are really good at keeping you in line, keeping you straight and leveled for the top of the case when you put it on. And the only thing that I would say is kind of a con is you don't have like straps. I've seen cases, and I've had cases where they actually have a strap right here and over here to hold down your laptop whenever you need to keep it in the case and you're traveling with it. For this, I mean, I have a bunch of backpacks. I'll probably just leave my laptop in the backpack anyways, just to minimize on the weight. So another good minor detail that just really means quality and functionality on this case is actually this right here. This is a high density foam that you actually have at the top of the case that comes off, and it prevents your equipment from sliding in and out, and also it keeps it snug and holds it down. So there are controllers where they sit right here and the case has some kind of foam down here and over here probably, and maybe in the middle, and it pushes down on your equipment from the laptop shelf. And those are cool. I mean, they just sit there. Sometimes maybe they'll Velcro, but I really like these right here on the side of the edges. The reason why is, first of all, it's not near any of your big buttons, and second, it has continuous support. So one thing is, the laptop shelf is actually at an angle, so your laptop of course doesn't slide this way, whereas it slides this way, and then you have this lip right here that helps it from actually coming out. So you have an edge, and this whole thing is angled, I'd say about maybe 5 to 10 degrees. You can't close it when it's at the fully open over here. The reason why is, I think this top right here catches it. So it was designed to have this thing go all the way down, very tight and snug on your controller, and then this foam piece that's attached to the top right here actually pushes down. So I think you can actually place a laptop on here. I still wouldn't, but you can put a laptop on here and it pushes down from the top of the case, and then you can actually hold it down and keep it in there. So again, I think we need to push this guy all the way in. There we go. Snug. And then, like I said, the top just drops down. Very easy. You can't get it wrong. I mean, look at that. Very easy. The clamps just hold down. You know, it's not finicky. Doesn't get jammed. Easy. I really like that. And when you're trying to tear down or set up quick, you don't want to hurt your fingers when you're kind of in a hurry. Just want to get it done. And then here comes the best part about it, is you've got handles here and handles here. You've got a handle, of course, up here. So there's times when you want to lift it right here, but what happens when you want to turn it? Well, you got to grab the corner or the edge. No, you don't have to anymore. You have these two handles. And what's better than one support is two supports with any kind of engineering structurally. Or if you just want to hold one right here and flip it to its bottom where the wheels are, you can perfectly do that. Boom. Easy. You don't really need a handle here, and there's no place to put it. This is removable, and this is the top right here. So yeah, and then if you bring it back down, you got two handles right here. You're good to go. So there you guys have it. I hope you enjoyed my review and first look on this DDJ-1000WLT MK case from ProX. I hope you guys like all the information I showed on there and all the information I went over. I give it kind of an engineering perspective, and I hope you guys got that. Anyways, make sure you share, like, and subscribe if you like my content. Hit the notification bell icon because I'll be coming up with more content, especially when it comes to DJing and music and sound. And also I will be posting some stuff about DIYs, gaming, and tech reviews. I have a bunch of backpacks back here that I will probably be reviewing, and I have a few more that I'll be unboxing. So if you guys like stuff like that, make sure you stay tuned. Again, this is Rim from Rim's Paradise, or DJ Remix. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Keep grinding for your paradise. Thank you. Peace.